Well, this action coming your way on the bank track from Kezar Pavilion, Golden Gate Park in the city of San Francisco between the Bombers and the Chiefs. And this is Walt Harris along with Jerry Seltzer to describe the action. As we pick up that action, we're in the first period of play with the score, the Bombers 2 and the Chiefs 4. And we have 6 minutes and 8 seconds to go here in the first period of play. The Chiefs are in the gold and the green, the Bombers in the deep brown and the orange trim. Here we go. Claudia Hodby breaking fast for the Chiefs, number 49, being followed in there by number 39 of the Bombers, Althea Gandy. Gandy grabs the lead. At the rear of the pack, Tucker is blasting away at Carolyn Moreland. And Moreland is down. Tucker is warned by the official to keep on moving. Looked like she wanted to go back and inflict more damage. Moreland is up and moving again. The lead jammer is Gandy, 39 there on the outside. Hodby to the inside has the lead now for the Chiefs. She's blocked out by Tucker. Moreland keeping cutting around there, puts a block on Gandy, number 39 of the Bombers. Another block in there by Carolyn Moreland. Tucker, there she is farther back, blocking on Claudia Hodby. See her head go back. There is Gandy going into the rail, hit by Carolyn Moreland. Moreland with another block in there. And Tucker again with a block. Both Tucker and Moreland doing a good job for their team. They're both slim girls, but showing how hard they hit because they are such great skaters out there. Gandy moving in. Moreland hooks her with the block. Rides her up near the rail. Here comes Tucker. Try and help out, but it's too late. Sandy Dunn went back and clobbered Gandy. So Sandy Dunn put her on the deck, killing any possible threat to score. No score on that jam. So remains the Chiefs 4 and the Bombers 2. Jerry, looks like we're going to have a good one here in this game.
The Chiefs have come out swinging, and I'm sure they're going to have to settle down. They're very hyped up for this. We're getting near the end of the season in the Bay Area. Pretty soon they're going to be opening their own season back in the East and against this very same Bomber team. And of course, the big thing with the Chiefs, they have added Bob Woodbury to their lineup. And if there's anything they've been slightly weak on, it's in the men's field, because Bill Gro being hurt or anything happening to him, the Chiefs just don't have the size. And certainly Bob Woodbury is going to give them the size and the experience.
He is, of course, not in this game, but he has been signed. He will join the team. He'll be back there when the Chiefs open their home stand this fall. Be a strong addition to the Chief Club. Right now, we have 4 skaters out on the jam. Carol Peanuts-Meyer, 37, blocked out by Judy McGuire, 45, the flashing blonde. Carol back on the inside. Carol returning after being out several weeks. Bad heel, hammering away at McGuire. McGuire is down, and away goes Carol Peanuts-Meyer. At the rear of the pack, there's Sandy Dunn to block, but Tucker is back there to help. And up comes skater on Tucker. That's Debbie Thompson. Tucker will have to worry about her while Sandy Dunn's doing the job. Now Tucker eliminates Debbie Thompson, puts her down. Now she's moving up to take a shot at Sandy Dunn, who's blocking out at Carol. But down low, takes her out of there. Carol goes for 1. There's team blocking now. She goes for 2. That was blocking by Rosetta Saunders. The time had run out. She only got the 1. Time had elapsed before she went by Carolyn Moreland, who was being blocked out by Saunders, who's grabbed by Moreland and belted by Sandy Dunn. Oh, man, these two clubs get together. You've got fireworks. It's 4th of July every night. Score now 4-3 off that point picked up. And over at this end, McGuire decks Carol Peanuts-Meyer. The Bombers are on the deck all around the track. Watch for that explosion in the East. And the Chiefs open their fall season against the Bombers. Seems to bring out the best in both clubs, or some people might say the worst, the way they hit out there, Jerry.
Well, you know, some of those games we saw at Madison Square Garden between the Bombers and the Chiefs, it's certainly the heights of skating, and but the bitterness between these two teams, and a lot of resentment, and the fact that Charlie O'Connell, formerly the coach of the Chiefs, now back with the Bombers, just a natural rivalry.
Here we go again, out on the jam and moving. Number 42 for the Chiefs. That is Maureen Gallagher. About to challenge her, Linda Antonio. Rear of the pack. Moreland slammed hard into the rail. She has to catch the pack again now. Boy, these girls are battling out here. This is just the first period of play. A lot of action yet to come. We have 2:04 to go in this period. There's Moreland back to the block, 43. He's a shot, puts a block on Antonio. Now Gallagher being hit by Dolores Tucker, 34, and down goes Gallagher. Scrambles up again. He's hit by Antonio. She got up, and down she went again. That's a real vital or looked out vulnerable position when you've been knocked down just as you get up. If the skater comes on you at the right time, you're a sitting duck. Gallagher put on the rail by Tucker. Time has run out. There was 1 point in there by the Bombers, though, on the play to tie up the score at 4 points apiece. And down at the other end, we got a one going. Look out. Moreland in there, getting in her looks in. Carol Penis-Meyer there. Here's Sandy Dunn now, moving in. Specials trying to keep it from getting out of hand.
Well, in a moment, we want to tell the fans how they can get a free copy of the rules, all of which seem to be violated out there right now. These teams have come out of there right from the start, and it's hard to believe there's 7 periods to go in this game. If you would like to get a free copy of the rules or put your name on the mailing list and receive special advance information on upcoming games in your areas, write to Rules or Mailing List, Post Office Box 1828, Oakland, California, 94604. Be sure to include the city and station on which you watch these games. And we got 2 of the fastest ones out in this jam. Carol Penis-Meyer, and there goes Judy McGuire.
Winning that battle, Carol Penis-Meyer. McGuire is on the deck, and Carol Meyer moving by herself on the jam for the Bombers. Score 4-4, 20 seconds left in this period. Peanuts coming up, and Judy is back to the block. Judy McGuire, who can do it all, number 45. Carol throws her aside, slips by for the point. Moves again. Carol returning to top form for the Bombers. There is Sandy Dunn. Look out. Look out. Judy is having a bad time on this jam. Another point for Carol. Up on Sandy Dunn's back, got off as McGuire took a swing at her. McGuire hit Sandy Dunn, and Dunn went down. And little Carol Penis-Meyer doing a fine job for the Bombers on that play, picked up another point. So, the score here at the end of the first period of play is the Bay Area Bombers 6 and the Chiefs 4. Action continues on the bank track as we move into the second period of play. This is Walt Harris and Jerry Seltzer calling the action on the Chiefs Network. Winner on the track. Flipped out of there. Tony Roman, 37, driving the lead as he goes sailing by number 47. That is John Early moving. John Early and Tony Roman in the jam. Early with the block in there. Roman is down, and Early moves away. Rear of the pack. Big Pete Boyd, the moving wall, number 36, 230-pounder to block for the Bombers. Bill Gro dropping back there, but Early catches a couple elbows, slammed into the rail. Tony Roman grabs the lead in the jam, moving on Bill Gro now. Bill Gro there with the block. Gro up, ends Roman, and Gro is hit by Boyd, but to no avail. And now Gro working in their team blocking. John Early in there for one on his face, but Roman goes by Gro for a point. And it's a point each way as the time runs out. Bill Gro with a good block in there, but in doing so, he went on his face, and Roman went by him for a point. He didn't go on his face, but Early did, and Early couldn't cut off the jam. You can't cut off the jam when you're on the track. You must be on your skates when you make the motion of the hands and the hips. So Tony Roman slipped by Bill Gro and picked up a point. So it's a point apiece in the score now. The Bombers 7 and the Chiefs 5. 10:30 to go here in the second period of play. Here we go. Jammer's trying to move out of that pack. We got one moving out of the play, and it's the Bombers. Number 33. I don't even have him on the roster. It looks like Alvin Mallory to me. Mallory seems to alternate between numbers 33 and 31. That is Mallory. There's Mallory with the block on Mike Gammon, number 45. Dynamite Mike Gammon on the play. They're coming up in the back, and Gammon grabs the lead now. Sam Tiapula back there blocking on Alvin Mallory, the Bombers. Pete Boyd slowing down Mike Gammon, number 45 of the Chiefs. Pete Boyd with the block in there. Boyd hooks Gammon, takes him near the rail. Gammon puts a block on Mallory, puts another block on Mallory, and grabs a big lead. Moving behind Tiapula's blocking on Pete Boyd. Now there's Gammon. He's going to get one. He gets more. That was fantastic skating by Mike Gammon as he moved by on the inside for those points in there. 4 points for Mike Gammon and the Chiefs on the play. Great move by Mike, Jerry.
Oh, and here's a great move by Pete Boyd.
Roscoe, Pete Boyd to have somebody in the middle there. Larry Lee's in there for the Chiefs trying to help out. Bill Gro, who they got in the middle. Sam Tiapula of the Chiefs. Boyd still has him, or he has Boyd. He's one in the midsection. Officials trying to get these men apart, and that's tough. Tiapula not as large, but mighty powerful in there. I don't know what started it, but they're going across, and they can't get them apart. They're hanging and hitting. Morrissey in the middle there. Boyden skates down he goes, and he gets it from Sam Tiapula. Boy, I don't know what started that, Jerry, but those men were out for blood.
I think it's just this series. It's the Chiefs and the Bombers, and anytime these teams get together, that's what happens. Sam Tiapula is very quiet off the track. He hardly says a word. His real name is Lauga Tiapula. That's spelled L-U-U-G-A. Tiapula. He's from American Samoa, and he's been a fantastic addition to the Chief team. As we say, he doesn't say very much, but on that track, he's very difficult to get by and very good fighter.
And remember, when the Chiefs open in the East against the St. Bomber Club, Mr. Bob Woodbury will be in the Chief lineup. That's all poison for the other clubs. On the jam, Bob Dansell moving, and out with him is Joe Perez. Perez hammers a block into Dansell, gets him again. He's got him going, but Dansell stays up. Penalty box, Pete Boyd, Sam Tiapula. One man from each team. Dansell with a block on Perez now. Another block in there, Joe Perez. He uses the rail to stay up, jumping Joe Perez. Moves to the inside. He throws everything he had into that block, and Dansell got away from him. Tony Roman blocking now. Tony Roman with the jammer's helmet on, is not in scoring position. John Early, I don't know whether Dansell went around him and he was hooked and thrown down or not. Jam cut off in there by Perez. Early gets it from Dansell, and Perez comes back to help out. Dansell got away from him earlier. I think it was Roman gave it to Early. Perez gets it from Roman now. Oh boy, look out. Orozco's aiming at somebody over there, but Tiapula skates away. Amen. Score goes to 10 for the Chiefs and 8 for the Bombers on that play. Point apiece. I tell you, Jerry, this is the kind of game you need 4 sets of eyes because it's happening all over the track all the time.
You know, it's something we always say. And here you've got perhaps the best crew in the country covering this game. And yet in roller derby, so much happens all at once. It's all over the track, and that's why the fans love to get out and see it.
Chris Rowe tried to move out, and Sam Tiapula roughed him right back into that back. Larry Lee moves out, number 44 for the Chiefs. And chasing him now is Alvin Mallory, 33 for the Bombers. Mallory moving after Larry Lee of the Chiefs. Larry Lee is hooked and goes down, put there by Alvin Mallory. 6:22 to go here in the second period of play. And the score, 10-8, Chiefs on top. Mike Gammon at the rear of the pack to block for Larry Lee. Mike Gammon has his jammers on. He moves into the pack now. Leaves it up to Bill Gro, 49. Alvin Mallory has caught Larry Lee again. So Larry Lee's back there blocking. I'm sorry, he was put down earlier, and he's just back in the pack. Larry Lee is blocking now, and Mallory, the only man in scoring position, 33. Coming up fast is Mike Gammon on the jam, though. Mallory takes a shot at him, puts him down. Mallory moving again. Larry Lee hits and puts him down. Gammon moving again. Mallory takes a shot at Gammon, puts him down. He moves up. He gets by Larry Lee for a point and cuts it off. Alvin Mallory gets it now from Larry Lee. Hammered. Hammered again. I tell you, nobody out there wants to be embarrassed, Jerry, on either club. And if they're passed, like Larry Lee was there, he wants revenge.
So these are the two class teams in the league. Right now, they look a little bit more like they're right down on the waterfront, slugging it out. Generally, when these two teams get together, there's a lot of good skating. You've got Mike Gammon and Larry Lee and Perez. A lot of good jammers, of course, on the Bombers. Tony Roman and Bob Dansell. And you'd expect the speed to go here. And all they're doing is just hitting each other as hard as they can.
10-9 is the score. The Chiefs on top. Moving out, Tony Roman. Boy, flying out of that back. Chasing him now, John Early. Tiapula was just decked in there by Charlie O'Connell. Jim Cook also in the back for the Bombers. Down goes John Early, put there by Tony Roman. Early rejoins the rear of the pack. He'll possibly have to block back there when Roman gets up there, and that won't hurt John Early's feelings. He'd like another shot at Tony Roman. Tony Roman, 37, looking for skating room. John Early won't give him any room. Jim Cook gets a shot at John Early, but Early recovers. Another shot by Cook, but Early gets away again and slows down Roman. Here comes a jammer, Joe Perez. We've got Perez and Early back there now. Perez the jammer, Early blocking for him. Here comes Roman again. Slides off of Joe Perez. Down in the heat go the Chief skaters, and it's a Bomber point. So that makes the score here after the jam as the Bombers pick up another point, all tied up at 10 points apiece.
If you would like to have a game scheduled in your area for some good charitable purpose, that's non-political or non-profit, you have a gym at a high school or college or an arena that seats more than 2,500 people, write to bookings, Post Office 18, Box 1827, Oakland, California 94604. You'll get the Chiefs, the Pioneers, the Bombers, and another fine team in your community and raise money either for your school or your local charity. In Walt, Springfield, Illinois has a new park because of money raised at roller derby games, and we're very proud of that, is the Sertoma Club at Springfield.
Well, that's one of the reasons I'm proud to be associated with this game, because of the great work they've done around the country and many, many benefits prospered from roller derby game. O'Connell, a blocker, is out to slow down Larry Lee. Bill Gro comes out. O'Connell, remember, can't cut off this jammer. He can't score. He's waiting for a jammer to come up. Now Larry's trying to gut to Bill Gro, hooked into an O'Connell block. O'Connell blocker. Plays a left hook into Bill Gro. I think he got away with it. He did. He continues, he won't get away with it. I think Bill Morris is calling a penalty on Charlie O'Connell, and Bill Gro is on the deck. He gets up as Mallory moves on him. And he slams Mallory into the rail. Here's Larry Lee in scoring position now. O'Connell threw a left hook in there once and got away with it. He was caught with some illegal blocking later on Bill Gro. And that's it. No score on the jam, but O'Connell's in the penalty box. And he's limping. No, I guess he's all right. 10-10 the score remains. There's Charlie O.
Very uncharacteristic play for Charlie, that he would just turn around and apparently, at least we didn't see anything, for no reason, start slugging it out with Bill Gro. I just don't know. You know, of course, Bill succeeded him as coach of the Chiefs after Buddy Atkinson Sr. left, and I'm afraid we're in for quite a game.
Here we go. Bob Dansell out, and with a block right off the bat on Jumpin' Joe Perez. Perez regains his speed, though, is chasing Bob Dansell of the Bombers. Hammers him now. Hits him again. Dansell stays up, moves back inside. Amazing talent of these skaters. The way they can be hit and stay on their skates. Dansell to the outside, then to the inside. Perez stays up, though. He moves in there on Dansell as they're moving on the pack. Tiapola back there to block. Tony Roman with a block on Joe Perez. Tiapola 42, slowing down Bob Dansell 34 of the Bombers. Tony Roman doing the job. Remember, Roman has a jammer someone on, but he's not out in this jam. He's not in scoring position. Dansell is decked. Tiapola hits Roman. Here comes Perez for the point as Roman goes up and bounces like a ball off the track. Pete Boyd in there blocking now. Roman in there trying to get another shot at Perez, who finally cuts off the jam, settles for the 1 point that breaks up the tie. That makes the score now the Chiefs 11 and the Bombers 10.
On the scoreboard, they appear to have taken 10 points away from the Bombers. They have it 11-1, but I really think you're right, Walt. All kinds of problems. We're in the last 49 seconds of this period. We want to remind everyone they're going to see the second half later on the same station, and our special halftime guest, Bill Gro, coach of the Chiefs, will be talking to Walt Harris.
And remember, all you folks in the Chief Network, your Chiefs are going to open against the Bombers back there this season. And on this jam, Mike Gammon with him, Chris Rowe, 32 the Bombers, 25 seconds left in the period. Bill Gro slammed into the rail by O'Connell, is back in the game out of the penalty box. He's got something going for him here against Bill Gro, that's for sure. Bill Gro back to the block, 15 seconds. He put in block on Chris Rowe. Pete Boyd to the block on Mike Gammon, 45 of the Chiefs. Pete Boyd, 36 of the Bombers. The moving wall. Bill Gro, hard block on Rowe, slams into the rail, takes a shot at Boyd. He gets him, and Gammon goes by for the point. 2 seconds, 1. And that's the end of that quarter, and a point was picked up in there, and Pete Boyd ends up on the deck. So the score here at the end of the second period of play between the Chiefs and the Bombers is the Bombers 10 and the Chiefs 12. Action continues here on the track in the third period of play. This action coming away from Kezar Pavilion, Golden Gate Park in the city of San Francisco. Walt Harris and Jerry Seltzer calling the action on the Chief Network. Girls are on the track. First skater out of that pack on the jam is number 42, Noreen Gallagher for the Chiefs. Bombers failed to get a jammer out so far. Saunders up there trying to clear the way for a jammer. She can't get by Sandy Dunn. She can try to do the job, or Carolyn Willard for that matter. Tucker up there. Bombers can't get a jammer out. The Chiefs really keeping them under control on this first jam here in the third period of play in the first half. And Gallagher closing on the pack. So Rosetta Saunders, number 36, drops back there to block. She's been a great addition to the Bomber team this year. Laszlo out for so long with injuries. Now Laszlo should be with him on their opener in the East, though, against his chief club. Saunders decking Gallagher. Now Sandy Dunn is trying to get back there, but the opening blocking that they did is put them out of position to get back there to help their jammer. As Tucker is keeping Sandy Dunn from dropping back, and Saunders doing the job on Noreen Gallagher. Quite a ways behind the pack there, blocking by Saunders. Warren to close. The pack has come to a standstill, though. Pack standing still out there on the track. Not still, but in the same spot. Sandy Dunn goes back, and down in a heap they go. That kills the threat. Time runs out. No score on the play. It remains 12-10. The Chiefs lead the Bombers. Tell you, Jerry, you know, one of the things about the Chief fans in the East, I think they know this game as well, if not better, than any section in the country.
Extremely knowledgeable. You're amazed as you sit there, and the minute a play is wrong, the fans know it. Sometimes, Walt, you go into other cities elsewhere in the country, and you'll have just as many fans, and they'll be just as good at fans. But somehow, the Chief fans just know exactly what this team is going to do, and they expect it. And they sit there, and they almost know what's happening before it happens.
And they appreciate and show their appreciation to the skaters when they pull off a good play. Right now, 4 jammers are out. Judy McGuire, Carolyn Moreland, or Debbie Thompson for the Chiefs. Carol Meyer and Kathy Pulliam for the Bombers. Judy McGuire gets the lead now. Debbie Thompson behind her. Bomber skaters, 31 Kathy Pulliam, 37 Carol Meyer, talking things over. Double block being set up in there by Debbie Thompson and McGuire. They take him from the outside, and away they go. Carol Meyer having a fine game. Looks like she's really rounded back in the top shape for the Bomber Club. Carolyn Moreland back to the block along with Sandy Dunn. Here come Peanuts and Kathy Pulliam. Blocking in there by Sandy Dunn and Carolyn Moreland. No skating room. Carol Meyer tries it up the middle. Pulliam tries to break it up. Carol takes her shot in there. Cannot get through, and down she goes. Now it's Pulliam's turn, and she goes down. Carol Peanuts Meyer moving again. She's hit in there and put down. Time runs out. Time did run out. And a skate put up backwards by Moreland or Dunn, who got Pulliam right in the midsection. Saunders goes back to challenge Sandy Dunn for it. And she's the one that draws the warning. And score remains 12-10. Trainer out there checking with Pulliam. Over on the other side, Saunders was coming up to, Tucker was coming up to challenge somebody, and Sandy Dunn went up and gave her a belt with a skate in the midsection, and Sandy Dunn was caught. She'll go to the penalty box.
Carolyn Moreland and Judy McGuire have turned in quite a team for the Chiefs. They're out there working the Bomber jammers over as soon as the jam ends.
So on this next jam, we'll have 4 Chiefs out there, and we'll have 5 Bombers. Sandy Dunn in the penalty box for 1 minute. 12-10 is the score. The Chiefs on top. 8:05 to go here in the third period of play in the first half. Moreland with a pivot helmet. Talking to Rosetta Saunders, wearing it for the Bombers. Saunders the block on Moreland, moves her out of there. Claudia Hobby moves up for the Chiefs, gets out on the jam. 60 seconds starts to tick off. The only jammer out is a Chief jammer again. Now whipped out of there, finally for the Bombers. Althea Gandy, number 39, but she's quite a ways back. The rear of the pack, Moreland battling with Rosetta Saunders. And Moreland is winning this battle. Here comes Hobby. She goes by for the point. Now blocking in the pack on Tucker and Bonema. Another point in there for Hobby, who finally ends up in the rail, but she cut off the jam before she went over the rail. She picked up 2 points in there for the Chiefs. And they now lead the Bombers 14-10.
A couple of things are evident here. One, Sandy Dunn has gotten to the women's squad after that first period, in which the Chiefs were really just out there scrambling, and has said, stop fighting, let's skate, because we can outskate the Bomber team. And one of the main reasons they're doing so well right now, of course, Big Margie Laszlo out of that Bomber lineup. She'll be back in it when the Bombers come to New York and Massachusetts and the whole eastern seaboard to meet the Chief team. That's going to make quite a difference on this Bomber team, Walt.
Yes, but quite a difference on the Chief team is going to be Bob Woodbury.
Oh, you can't. What a matchup these teams are going to be.
Here we go. There's been nothing but bad blood between Charlie O'Connell and Bob Woodbury for several years. Woodbury now a member of the Chiefs will be when they open in the East. Carol Meyer just getting up speed. She's going to be passed by both jammers. But it was an illegal blocking. It was illegal blocking. They will not allow it in there. I'll have the officials who have to untangle this play. They gave signals and whistles and all kinds of motions out there. And I don't know what they were trying to get across to the skaters, because they're all still moving in there and still blocking. Over the rail goes Kathy Pulley and put there more Moreland. Let's see what they say now. 4. Saunders shoved over there by Judy McGuire. 4 points by the 5 points. 3 by one, 2 by the other, and it's a total of 5. It's 19 on the scoreboard now for the Chiefs to 10 for the Bombers. Hooked out. Carol Meyer and Judy McGuire over there on the rail. Sandy Dunn gets in there to calm her teammate down, Judy McGuire. Well, Sandy Dunn is a peacemaker of something different, Jerry.
As I said before, they lost a lot of valuable points in that first period because of fighting. And Sandy Dunn I think, definitely feels that her girls' team can outskate this Bombers girl team as they are right now.
Well, she gave them an example then of how to stay out of trouble. McGuire still John at Bill Morrissey, one of the officials. Here we go. Packs being formed. Jammers starting from the rear of the pack with 5:12 to go here in the third period of play. A lot of mail about where are the training schools and how do we get training school information. We'll try and pass it on to you. Out on the jam, Noreen Gallagher for the Chiefs, and moving on her for the Bombers, number 33, Elaine Bonema. So each team has a jammer out on the play. Both teams at full strength. Bonema with a block in there, and Gallagher grabs the lead. Oh, down in a heap they go. Bonema rolling over the top of Gallagher. Gallagher got up first and went down again, and Bonema got away from there, so Bonema now has the lead. She's got Carol Penis-Meyer as a blocker, all 90 pounds of her. Down low, the only way she can do it. Takes out Sandy Dunn, and picking up a point, Elaine Bonema. On the rail, they've got Judy McGuire surrounded by Bomber shirts. Bill Morrissey in there to make sure things don't get out of hand. And he keeps things under control. 1 point Bombers. They have 11 on the scoreboard now, and the Chiefs have 19.
Among the letters I notice you get all the time, Walt, and of course generally if they have to do with the league, you pass them on. More people write you asking how can you become a skater. And if you would like to become a roller derby skater and enter a training school, perhaps find a whole new career in this great expanding league, write to Roller Derby Training Centers, Post Office Box 1827, Oakland, California 94604. We'll send you information and Walt, a brand new school opening in the East. You can get information about that by writing to this address, Box 1827, Oakland, California.
Look out, in trouble, McGuire. Carol clobbers her. Off balance, couldn't retain her balance, and Carol took the shot and put Judy McGuire back in the pack. So Carol Penis-Meyer moving by herself on the jam now, number 37 for the Bombers. There are 2 other jammers out, but they're quite a ways back. Judy McGuire at the rear of the pack now. She wants a shot at Carol Penis-Meyer. She's going to get that opportunity. There's Carol. Judy with a block. Judy with another block on Carol. Penis-Meyer looking for skating room. She's not finding any. Saunders trying to get back to give her some help, but Moreland and Sandy Dunn are making sure that Rosetta Saunders does not get back there. Leg block by Judy. Elbow block by Judy McGuire. Penis-Meyer, 37, being slowed down and hammered again in there by Judy McGuire. Time running short on the jam. Saunders fighting, but can't get back there. Judy McGuire enjoying her work. Says, come on, Carol, try it again. Oh! Nothing like overconfidence. Time runs out, but the point was scored. As Penis-Meyer showed you how. He's on the track now, though. Judy skates up there, but doesn't do anything. Saunders checking with her. Carol, after scoring that point, ran into a blocker, and down she went hard. So the Bombers have 12 now, and the Chiefs have 19 on the scoreboard.
I can't remember the last game where the Bombers have been held to just 4 points a period for the first 3 periods, Walt, and it's generally, you'll find the teams will generally get off pretty fast against each other. But right now, the Chiefs have really contained the Bomber offense.
Here we go again. Pack being formed. Jammer starting to the rear of the pack. Tucker has a Jammer's helmet on. And she's out of there for the Bombers. Well, Jerry, they're going to try and do something about it, but Sandy Dunn and Carol Moreland are chasing Dolores Tucker. They're moving on her. Here comes Rosetta Saunders for the Bombers. All 4 big guns out on the play. Look out! Look out! Oh, man. Tucker with a key block. Put him off balance. Saunders finished. Sandy Dunn and Moreland. They've rejoined the pack now, and the Bombers with the double-barrel threat approaching. Dolores Tucker, 34. Rosetta Saunders, 36. The Bombers trail by 7. Minute 22 to go in this period. First Tucker got it. Now Saunders trying to get through there. Saunders again tries and cannot find through room. Again, she tries to go through and she's decked again. Tucker is going to try now. Jumps in there. Can't get through. Jammer's moving for the Chiefs. She's half a lap back now. There they go. 2 points apiece. And a pull away, except for McGuire, who's hooked by Carol Meyer. Look out, McGuire being thrown over the rail by Carol Meyer. Eunice Meyer throwing Judy McGuire over the rail. McGuire comes back in the track and she's stomping mad. 4 points for the Bombers. Evidently they didn't get by McGuire, who was being blocked out by Carroll before time ran out, so they only got 4. With the Bombers 16 and the Chiefs. Oh, there we go. They got a bomber in there. It must be Saunders. It is. Tucker gets in to help her teammate out. Lays a right. Ooh, right. And she smashes Sandy Dunn. Sandy Dunn comes fighting back, though. Tucker skates away. Now Saunders in there. Saunders grabbed by Sandy Dunn. Ooh, what a right hand by Dunn. Another right hand by Dunn.
Oh, she is strong.
Meyer finishes her. Here comes Tucker again. He lays a right hand into Sandy Dunn. She goes down for the force of her own punch. Officials break it up. Well, that's the end of the third period of play with the score now. The Bay Area Bombers 16 and the Chiefs 19. Here we go again. Out on the jam as the men take over here in the fourth period of play. A lot of action yet to go. An interview at the end of the second half. Bob Dansell in the jam. He's a block into Joe Perez. Hits him again. Perez uses the rail and stays up. That's why you use that rail. Comes in mighty handy. Perez, a knee into Dansell. Elbow block in there by Joe Perez. They're moving on the pack now. Bombers have 3 skaters out there. 2 girls, 2 penalties. The Chiefs have 1 skater in the penalty box. Dansell belted by Perez. Perez belted by Roman. Roman with the Jammer's helmet on is not out on this jam. He's a blocker back there. Dansell finished up Joe Perez, moving behind Tony Roman, moving on Bill Gro. There he goes. Bill Gro, beautiful. He was not suckered on that play. There he's taken out of there by Roman. That paved the way for the point. Just after Bill Gro recovered nicely from an attempted feint by Roman, he was then taken out by Roman. 19-17 is now the score. 1 point picked up in there. We got a good one going there, Jerry. No question about that.
Man, for the fans who just joined us, these first 3 periods of this game has probably been the hardest fought these teams have played all year, and these are 2 of the best teams, that, of course, in the league. The Bay Area season nearing an end. The competition's gotten something fierce with the playoffs coming up here.
Oh, here we go again. Moving out of the pack, Sam Teopola with the Jammer's helmet on for the Chiefs. Being chased by Chris Rowe, number 32 of the Bombers. Each team is a man out and moving on this play. 2 points separating these 2 clubs. Boy, these girls had a wild first and third period. Teopola alongside of the block on Chris Rowe. They're hitting in that pack, too. They've been hitting since this game started. Right now, O'Connell is on the infield, talking to Tony Roman. Chris Rowe hit by Teopola, hit again by Teopola. There goes his helmet. He stays up, though. Larry Lee back to the block, number 44 for the Chiefs. Larry Lee's a fine one. He's slowing down Chris Rowe. Alvin Mallory, 33, blocking for the Bombers. He has a Jammer's helmet on, but he is not in scoring position. He did not go out of the pack on the jam. Mallory, 33, with another block on Teopola. There they are. Another block in there. Larry Lee dumped Chris Rowe. He's moving now on Mallory. Hammers Mallory. Mallory's passed by Teopola. Teopola scores 1. Larry Lee going after Jim Cook. Jim Cook gets a ray from him, though. Cook, 38. And Teopola cuts off the jam. Settles for that 1 point. Makes the score now the Chiefs 20 and the Bombers 17.
Charlie O'Connell coming onto the track now, following the pattern he's followed so successfully all season. As a couple of the skaters have a few words out there, and that is staying out the first couple of jams, and that's kept him fresh. Well, I don't remember when he's skated this well this long this season.
Makes a difference, I guess, if you pace yourself, and that's certainly what he has done this year. We have Gold Dust Twins. Joe Perez, John Early out on the play. 2 lookalikes. Tony Roman challenging them. And Bob Dansell is coming up to give Roman some help. Roman goes in, takes them both down. Dansell, great move over the top, skates away. Tony Roman having a fine game. He better, because his wife, Carol Myers, had a fine first half. Roman working on him. Early puts him down, and Dansell goes by him for a point. He blasted him early back into the pack, through the pack, and out of the pack at the rear end, and finally a point in there. Tony Roman really doing a job that time on John Early, number 47 of the Chiefs. Bombers pick up one. They have 18 now, and the Chiefs have 20.
First coming in the Chief lineup right now is Mike Gammon, number 45, and he and Tony Roman are quite a matchup. But due to the jamming rotation, they do not really go in the same jams as much as people would think.
On the infield, John Early after Roman, an official gets in between them. Here we go. On the outside, Alvin Mallory for the Bombers. Whipped the starter, I believe, with the Roscoe. Carried him all the way around that pack. And Bill Gro takes off in pursuit now. Mallory doesn't know he's coming. Now he does, and it's going to be too late. Here comes Charlie O. Charlie O. Bill Gro hit by Charlie O'Connell. It slowed down Mallory. O'Connell has a blocker's helmet on. He can't cut off the jam. He can't score. He can slow down Bill Gro. That's what he's doing. Chris Gro goes by, but he's being chased by Mike Gammon of the Chiefs. At the head of the pack, Bill Gro belting O'Connell now. On the jam, it's Chris Gro, 32, Mike Gammon, 45, right behind him. O'Connell and Bill Gro at the rear of the pack. Bill Gro goes down. Here comes Chris Gro, moving in Bill Gro, 49. Bill Gro hammers a block into him, lays him up on the rail, hangs him on the rail. Mike Gammon moving behind Bill Gro now, moving in Charlie O'Connell. There's Mike Gammon. He's going to move in there. Bill Gro blocking on O'Connell. Gammon goes by for that point. Then he's hit by Gil Orozco. Bill Gro still working on Charlie O'Connell even after his man has scored. Slams O'Connell into the rail. Then he hooks Chris Gro with the block. Takes him all the way across the infield. And lays a right hand on the chin. Now he goes after Orozco, I believe. Bill Gro had a block on Chris Gro. Did nothing illegal. Took him all the way across the track, up on the rail. And when he got him on the rail, he hammered a right hand in there. There was one Chief point on the play. I don't know about penalties here.
I'm sure referee Kendall signaled 1 minute on Bill Gro.
Fans in the Bay Area have some action coming up this week. They have a game in San Jose tomorrow night. And coming up this Wednesday in Modesto at a place called Del Webb Field. And the people who are in the Chief Network will certainly know about Del Webb.
Of course, one of the original owners of the Yankees.
And in the days when nobody could beat him.
Right, in the days when nobody could beat him. And the Modesto team represented the Yankee chain for so long. They named the ballpark after him.
I remember reading about those days, Jerry. Did you ever see any of their games?
That's when baseball was really good. Not when they had these funny teams in the yellow and green uniforms.
Here we go on the jam. John Early is out again, and Tony Roman to challenge him on the play. Watch the action now. Here we go. John Early, Tony Roman. There we go, Roman. Bing, 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 bang. John Early is going to remember Tony Roman. Don't forget the last half. Don't forget the interview at the end of this half. Don't forget the Chiefs open in the East against the Bombers. Tony Roman blocked out by John Early now. Early is back there with his jammer's helmet on, but remember, he is no longer in scoring position. Same thing holds true for Bob Dansell, 34, tried to move him out of there. Coming up in scoring position, though, is Sam Tiapulla with the pivot helmet for the Chiefs. Tiapulla goes to the infield. I don't think he got by anybody on the track. Roman decked by John Early. Early talking to Tiapulla now. Pete Boyd to the block on Tiapulla, but here comes Roman. Early will have to worry about him rather than helping Tiapulla right now. 2 seconds, 1, and that's it. No score on the jam. They're still blocking just shortly after the jam had ended. 21-18 the score remains. The Chiefs lead the Bombers. Looks like Mike Gammon's going to challenge Pete Boyd. It better be a skating match. He's really jogging away at Pete Boyd.
Pete Boyd must have, what, 100 pounds on Mike Gammon? Probably more than that. Pete right now is about 240. Mike Gammon, I think, skates at about 125 or 130 pounds. Can't say positively this is a big man's game because how long's Mike been skating now, Walt? 13, 14, 15 years, I believe.
How old is Mike?
Mike is 30 years old.
That's right, Tim. 15 years. Should we mention that? But he grew up on skates. On skates, he is as big as they come. To be a star in this game, you have to be great. These are the greatest skaters in the world today on the bank track. There are none to compare. Alvin Mallory moving now. In trouble at the rear of the pack, Mike Gammon. That was Charlie O'Connell blocking on him. Mike Gammon Gets set for Alvin Mallory's challenge. Here comes Tiapula on the jam. He goes by Mallory. Mallory covers. He's blocking Tiapula. Gammon gets away from the rear of the pack. Bill Gro takes over. There's Mallory moving. Bill Gro with the block. Tiapula moving up. Charlie O'Connell keeping it. Charlie O'Connell with a burst of speed. Hammers Bill Gro. And Mallory scores and cuts it off. Gammon went over the rail by O'Connell. Bill Gro takes the right hand of O'Connell. O'Connell got underneath it. Here comes Gammon back on the track behind O'Connell. Gammon in the other. Look out. I tell you, when you're moving on skates, the target you're trying to hit is standing still. You're at a disadvantage because he can just one little jump and you cannot change your course that fast, as Bill Gro and Mike Gammon just found out. On that play, O'Connell with a great play. He was blocking back there, keeping an eye on Tiapula, and then he saw he had just a split opening to hit Bill Gro and still not be passed, which he did. Mallory moved behind him for the Bomber point. 21-19 to score now, the Chiefs on top.
I see Joan Weston just coming in the building, followed by a legion of fans. She'll, of course, watch the last part of this game. And here at Kezar today, we have a doubleheader. The Pioneer skating the Jolers in the other half of it. There'll be a big doubleheader coming up in the other parts of the country, and they'll hear about them in their areas.
Well, the pack's being formed, and away we go again. On the jam, Joe Perez and Tony Roman to challenge him. There they are. Roman with the block on Perez. These men move around that track. Great speeds. O'Connell and Bill Gro. Roman puts Perez down, moves on Bill Gro now. Bill Gro with the block on Roman. O'Connell gets back there, but Bill Gro shoves him ahead. O'Connell shoved clear around the pack. O'Connell takes off on the jam. Now Bill Gro shoved O'Connell out of the way and shoved him clear around the track. Look at O'Connell burn up this track. Here he comes. Ahead of steam went right on his back. Then Roman moved in for the points. I don't know about Bill Gro. Trainer's checking with him. O'Connell going wide open. Faster than 40 miles an hour, and Bill Gro broke away from the block in front of him, and O'Connell up in the air, right on top of him. The other end now.
We got a fight.
Oh, Dansell tries to challenge Perez. They're hammering away in there. Bill Gro is up. That's good. Don't want to see anybody hurt.
Walt, you're going to be talking to Bill Gro at halftime, and I'm sure he's going to have a few words about this.
Oh, man, I was just afraid he might have been hurt on that play, Jerry. Roman went by after Bill Gro, and he scored, and the score is 23-21 now. The Bombers grab the lead, and they will not get the pack organized for another jam here in the first half. 10 seconds left. We'll see him. Look, they're out of there. 5 seconds left. This jam goes the full 60 now. Mike Gammon got out of there. Chris Gro chasing them. 23-21 the Bombers. Bill Gro after O'Connell at the rear of the pack. O'Connell and Bill Gro hammering away. Bill Gro into the rail. Chris Gro decked by Mike Gammon. Mike Gammon moving on O'Connell. O'Connell meets him in the block. Bill Gro after O'Connell. Gammon goes by him for a point and then cuts it off. He cut it off because Bill Gro was down. There was a chance he would be passed for a point. So Gammon, rather than gamble for more, cut off the jam. A good, smart move. Well, that brought an end to the first half of play. And O'Connell still having words over here with Mike Gammon on. Bill Gro moves and hammers O'Connell. Mike Gammon, they've got O'Connell on the rail, and they're blasting away. Jim Cook throws himself in there. Pete Boyd's in there. Bill Gro just throwing right hands at whoever gets in his way. Officials trying to get them apart. This half is over, but we got to break it up out there on the track. Well, that's the end of the first half. With the score, the Bay Area Bombers 23 and the Chiefs 22. Well, the score here at halftime is 23-22. The Bombers leading the Chiefs. We have here Bill Gro, head man of the Chiefs. And Bill, this is going to be news to a lot of people in the East. It's a subject that we got to talk about because you have it tough out on the track, but you're going to have it tougher in a way. I'd like to know what's your reasoning behind signing Bob Woodbury as a member of the Chief Club.
Well, it's like everybody knows, the fans have they've been screaming at me, get a big man, give me a hand out there. I've been looking and looking and looking. I'll tell you, it's hard to find a big man to stay out here and really, put everything out and stay up on those skates. So I just took a wild shot here. We're taking a wild chance at it. We're going to give Woodbury a chance. Believe it or not, Woody is really serious about skating. I mean skating now, Woody's had a style of his own of skating, if you want to call it a style, but I'm going to give him one shot, and that's it. And I am hoping I can handle him, because I've skated with Woody. I remember one year Woody skated great, and if I'm not mistaken, he was either got king or most valuable player. Did a brilliant job. I know he can do this. He has the potential.
Well, there's a baseball manager took a trial on a man, and he turned him into the most valuable player in the league. You may be able to do the same thing with Bob Woodbury. He's got a lot of talent, Bill.
He does, really. It's just a matter of staying on him. You got to stay on Woody. You can't let him drift and what have you, because there's no telling what to do. You got to stay on him all the time. I'm hoping I can handle him, really. And then, of course, Mike might be able to help out there. I don't know. We hope.
Well, you've had a speed-burning team, Bill, but now you're going to have the size to go with it. And, of course, the first opponent you're going to face in the East when you open your fall season is going to be this Bay Bomber team.
That's right. And while we're opening up with one of the toughest, if not the toughest team in the league, I'm looking forward to it. I know everybody else is, and I'd rather start with the best in the league, That is, we've been on top for so damn long now, and the Bombers, they, I don't know, there's something about a rivalry back and forth, but I think you got a rivalry with every team, But the Bombers, fans don't like them back there in New York,
Yeah, but the fact that O'Connell started with that Chi team when they were put back together in the East, and then you moved in for Charlie, has created a little more rivalry than the ordinary competition between two clubs.
Well, this is maybe true, but I think a lot of it may be, I think a lot of it could be with the fans pushing a lot of it, because Charlie left and this and that, so they want to see the man, put down. But Charlie, you can't take it away from the man. He's great, and myself going up against Charlie, well, I'd rather go against O'Connell than anybody, because you beat him, you're beating the best in the business.
Well, you're a great one, Bill. You're the best in the business. Thanks very much for talking with us, and good luck handling Bob Woodbury.
Thank you.
Bill Gro has signed Bob Woodbury for the Chiefs. Should be a great addition to that club. Couldn't still keep them on top of the ladder. Score here at halftime, 23-22. The Bombers lead the Chiefs. As Walt Harris speaking from Kezar Pavilion, Golden Gate Park in San Francisco.